Good evening, everybody, for the last evening of, what is it,
2013.
2013. My name is Natasha Denman, and right next to me, I've got my right hand man,
On the right hand side,
Stuart
Stuart.
Denman, and we'd like to welcome you tonight for our last webinar of 2013 on Instant Coach Niche Business in a Box. So before we get started, just want to make sure that you guys can hear us and see our PowerPoint presentation. We've got a few hellos already have come through. Hey, Marianne and Pina, our new Ultimate Weight Loss licensee, and we're going to be talking to you about that obviously tonight. Tonight we're coming to you from both of our brands because we are talking about a niche business in a box, but also at the same time, we want to make sure that we also answer all your questions, share a little bit of our journey this year, what we have learned, what our wins have been, and some of the changes that we're going to be making in 2014 upon reflection of the first full year of the license system that we developed for both of these brands, which has been really amazing and super successful for our licensees. So everyone has said, hey guys, all good from everyone. So hello, I can't say hi to everyone. There's quite a few of you on the call. Awesome to have you here. Best way to get lots of value out of this call, obviously take lots of notes as well as ask questions as we're going along, and we'll be checking the box because there are two of us here on the call tonight. So I've got a helper here next to me.
Just for when she needs to take a breath.
Yes, I've been practicing my vocal training. I have, you know what? I'll share something. Just before we got on the call, I had a cork in my mouth, and
Yes, she said a cork in her mouth.
Yes, I have been speaking for about 15 minutes. Practicing my tongue exercises because I have had a few issues with my voice, and I've done voice warm-ups and all that. I had a cool vocal training session with Alice Hammerley about 2 or 3 weeks ago, was it? Yeah. And it's funny, Stuart's been talking to me and giving me a bit of shit here on this end. All right, so just a little bit of an introduction of who I am and who we are and where we come from, because there is a few names that we don't recognize from our regulars that we usually see on our webinars. We started in business 3.5 years ago, May 2010 to be precise, and the first business was Ultimate Weight Loss. And actually, it wasn't Ultimate Weight Loss, it was PRS Coaching. However, that didn't stand for anything. And as we're talking about niching tonight, I should definitely share that my first business name was PRS Coaching, and that was around for about 14, 15 months.
It did stand for something, Natasha, yes. Remember?
Yes.
Passion, success.
No, passion, results, success. Yes, and basically we decided to rebrand once my first book, The 7 Ultimate Secrets to Weight Loss, came out, and we decided on ultimate weight loss, specifically lose the last 10 kilos, which is where the clincher was, and this is what we will talk to you about when it comes to niching later on in the call tonight. So we rebranded, and that was the really big turning point. It was the rebrand as well as the book coming out. And in no time, I had a fully booked coaching practice and helping others lose their last 10 kilos. Subsequently, because of the products that I had created and the book that I had written, I discovered this second niche in Ultimate Business Edge, which was about product development. So not just books, but it was manuals, programs, now mentoring a lot of people in creating their own license systems, as well as how to run workshops, webinars, which I believe are all types of products out there. And then Ninja Business Chicks was born as a result of me and Donna Brown, who we were doing lots of things together, and we thought we'd amalgamate everything and write a book for that particular business, which has been a really successful little venture for what we did in that particular business this year through the book of Ninja Couch Marketing. And last but not least, our Ultimate 48-Hour Author began this year in May, and it was an idea as a result of writing Ninja Business Chicks over a 48-hour time frame while we were away back in January. And I realized that I could teach other people to do the same. And I just put it out there, and basically in the first 3 months, nothing much happened. And when I was promoting it, and then when I came back from Thailand, we were in Thailand, I said, I'll give it one more go. And all of a sudden, I ended up filling all the 10 spots, and we had the first 10 authors come out in October. And today, if you had been on Facebook, we finally received the very first copy in our hands from one of our authors, which is a pretty fast turnaround from mid-October to have come out by mid-December, which is when she got her hands onto it through the publishing process. And our February weekend's got one spot because someone wanted to swap out for the April one, and we're really looking forward to my vision and goal, I guess, for 2014 is to have helped at least 50 people publish their books and have this big collage of books that I've had lent a helping hand with. So that was that's our businesses, our brands. I very much believe that even though you see, wow, there's 4 businesses there, they're in effect they're just a different type of offering, because we don't want to confuse the message with people. So each of these businesses in effect has its own website, its own call to action, a different ideal client who would fit the different picture. And I nowadays look at them as a product and as a different offering, whereby behind it all, it's me. So I don't look at it as this, wow, I just got to focus on these 4 businesses. So that's us. And basically Stuart joined me last year. I had a big goal for him to resign from his full-time job in Christmas last year. So now it's been officially 12 months. And do you want to tell us how your journey has been, Stuart, this year?
Well, yeah, I mean, as you know, not many others do, it was really when you niched and you really got in and your one-on-one practice started getting busy with the Ultimate Weight Loss, which is when I really started to think, yeah, look, this is something that I do need to be a bit more involved in. I guess I was one of those people, not a non-believer in what you do, obviously, but it was such a big change for me to see. So jumping on board, my business background's been managing a lot of Australia's preeminent retail outlets. OPSM was my first career. Then I managed Melbourne International Duty Free Airport Departures Lounge. Owned a Specsavers store. Ran a Cash Converters store. Barbecues galore. So I've been in a lot of the different retail environments, and it's really where I really learned about doing a lot of the marketing, advertising, how their messages, getting their message out there to people, and really knowing how to get it out there in the right way and make it really appealing. So I then started developing a lot of, I guess, the background things. So a lot of our marketing that we do, a lot of the social media, obviously, I've focused on probably in the last 12 months. And then from when I quit, when we were able to quit our big goal last year. Yeah, so coming on board and helping the licensees get up and running. So that was one of the roles that I had at the start, making sure that they were, because it was new to us as well. So we wanted to, and I had the time to give as much support and everything as we could to our first group of Ultimate Weight Loss and Ultimate Business Edge, which Natty focused on more. But the Ultimate Weight Loss is where I was really helping them get their business set up. And then, yeah, been starting to take on my own clients around social media, getting their businesses up and going too. I've always been quite happy in the background, but I guess sometimes that, us guys do need to step forward every now and then, I guess, around these powerful women.
Yes. And yes, he has discovered his own little niche there and his own little demand around helping people with social media. So who knows, there might be another brand or another offering within all of this that fits that picture, because there is a huge demand out there. Awesome. So let's move on. And what tonight is going to be about, and please, any questions as we come along, as we're going along, just post them and we'll see them pop up. So therefore we will stop and answer them and clarify anything. And nothing's a silly question. Any question goes. If you want to know any of our strategies, mindset around how we do what we do, how we have balance in our lives. Someone today on Facebook asked me, do you ever feel disorganized? And I think she may be on the call tonight, but I said, absolutely, I feel from time to time disorganized. At this time, I'm very organized because we've had 10 days off and I can't just sit around and do nothing. So I've just really got myself set up for an amazing start next year, because we've still got a couple of weeks. We're going away on Thursday. All right, so let's go through. So we're just going to give you a bit of a 2013 year in review. What we learned, we're going to share with you the ups and downs, because it's not always been up, and I just really want to be honest and upfront, and that's what I've always been. And I've had moments where I felt like I was in a dark hole, and other times euphoria to the max. So the highs can be really high and the lows can be really low. However, we walk away from learnings and just being able to look at what has happened, and as a result, how much stronger we've become. It's really rewarding. Then I want to talk about the 7 common coach mistakes. Some of you that are on the call, you would have heard me talk about these, but I just want to focus quite more in depth in on the last 2 specifically, which is around niching and tangible assets. And then I want to go through the new way forward into 2014. So I want to basically want to share with you something brand new. As a result of learning what we've learned, we're going to do things better and smarter, and if there's going to be an amazing opportunity that you won't want to miss hearing us say at the very end. So how smart am I? I put that right at the end to keep you on the call. Cool. Leonie just said, "Oh, I know that place you've been in, Nat." So a lot of us have those moments. So here we go, 2013 year in review, about exactly 1 year to the day. Well, no, a few days off. On the 4th of January this year, I ran pretty much my first really big webinar for a very big group of people. And it was right here at my mum's house in Bulleen. And I got quite emotional on that call because I announced, obviously, that Stuart, I wanted him to quit his job. And that he did. And then on the call, I said, you know what, guys? In 2013, by the end of this year at Christmas, I want us to be celebrating my mum quitting her day job. So then it was about helping her. And I had set a figure that we needed to achieve in terms of our sales. And we achieved it by October 2013. So that was really super, super fun. Now, did she quit her job? You're probably wondering. No, she didn't. However, if the offer is there, if she wants to cut down some days, if she wants to stop, she can, and she doesn't need to do anything for us. She can just enjoy it. Instead, for Christmas, we gave her a Bali holiday to come with us in May. I think we're going for about 2.5 weeks. So it was, and this year we also took her away to Thailand. So giving back, and there's a lot of personal reasons why we want to achieve what we want to achieve, and this was my one for 2013, which I'm so glad that I did get to, because it was a big ask. But if you had spoken to me back in June, I would have said no way in hell was that going to happen.
Well, you're in a bit of a pit back then too.
I was in a pit. So let me tell you about the pit. So the learning. So self-sabotage. So what is self-sabotage? Self-sabotage is when you stop doing what you know works. So let me tell you. So I finished off 2013 really strong and started off 2012 really strong and started 2013 with a bang. I achieved my first 90-day goals by the end of February. And you know what? I thought, on the break, I was just going, go, 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 go. We had an amazing couple of months, and I just hit a point where I just needed a rest. I thought, I have a month. I have a month to just chill, take it easy. And you know what? I stopped doing what I knew worked. I stopped going networking. I stopped putting my hand up to speak at events. I stopped really actively promoting and setting up events, and even I let go of not let go of one-on-one clients, but stopped really looking for any mentor and to mentor anyone, and slowly that lost the momentum that I had, and I just kept feeling really, really sad and down, and I would try to use all these mindset strategies that us coaches know, and all the personal development I have done, and I'd feel okay for about 5 or 10 minutes and then feel crap again. And it was just I didn't know what was happening. And what I realized at the end, once I came through and I had a few insights, is that I was trying to take on the responsibility of everyone's success on my own shoulders. It was like, why aren't these people doing what I am teaching them to do, and why aren't they taking action? And this had to do with some of our licensees, with some one-on-one clients, And at the end of the day, what I realized is that, yeah, absolutely, you can take a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it. And it wasn't my responsibility to make them successful. I was there. My phone was open, my email, my everything was there. And I just didn't know what possibly I could do to really, amp everything up. So I felt really crap, and just stopped, full stop. And then we went away in Thailand in May. And so this took about 3 months to get through. And when we came back, I remember specifically with Stuart saying, you know what? That's it. We're going to change everything. I stopped exercising. I'd stopped doing everything. So basically, I started exercising. I felt like I was in a haze and I couldn't get out. And I started exercising. We started doing some other things, out networking, and we set these goals: 2 networking events every week, 2 brand new conversations with new people, do this offer, talk to these people. I spoke to like about 50 odd people internationally. I did so much free work for about 6 weeks, June and half of July. Well, I gave, and then the turning point came, and it just tipped. And from mid-July through to the start of September, in a mere 6-week period, we generated over $200,000 in sales. That was just because I didn't get any reward for anything I was doing. I just said, I just got to know, I know what works. I know that networking works. I know that speaking to people, helping them out, coming from that heart space and just sharing what I know works. So I stopped the self-sabotage, and my energy levels went through the roof because I was exercising. I was fitting in half an hour every single day. It didn't matter if I was so busy, if I was fully booked, I would then fit in that. And it was amazing. And the momentum carried me through the whole trip in Europe. And we even finished off 2013 fantastic. From your viewpoint, Stuart, what do you think that time was like? What did you, from your partner perspective?
I guess because I'm not the trained coach, I've just got the background from doing the do through my roles. Yeah, I really had to sort of watch how it was. I'm a bit of a people watcher, so yeah, you can really see the difference when people just, and that's where I think a lot of businesses, when they're new, they're so excited at the start and they're up and going and they get everything organised and they're going to take on the world and they're going to conquer this and they're going to do that. And then all of a sudden, as you say, that's a perfect way of describing it. This haze comes over them, and they lose their belief in themselves, and they lose their clarity, and then their message gets confused. And if they're not being able to sell themselves and sell the message and be out there doing, they can fall into that spot that you were in. And
Yeah.
even though you had the awareness, so it was great that you were able to sort of, we sat down and then you said, okay, bang, this is what works. You got the awareness that you can say, I'm just going to go and do it. And then, yeah, just watching the momentum change. And that's the same as you now, to be honest. Like, you've had 10 days off. This is the most enthusiastic you've been in 10 days because it's back doing what you love doing, and it's giving people you.
Yeah.
And that's what you love, and I can see that. So,
yeah.
Whereas, I'm quite happy for another, how many days have we got now?
15.
15 days.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great to see because people are on the call now because they want to hear what you've got to say.
Yeah.
They want to find out what's around. So yeah, but that's having that haze and getting rid of that haze in the mind.
Yeah.
To be able to move themselves forward.
And I'm so glad I've learned so much from it. It's about I can only be responsible for what I do and the value that I bring and the systems that I provide. So that's when I learned that what I had with my licensing programs and products is that it was a product. It was a system that I could sell as a product. It wasn't everything that I did. So then I gave it a different meaning, and all of a sudden it also changed the way I felt about it. So subsequently, our wins for 2013 were that we actually did sign up, and we have operating 35 licensees in Australia and the US. One in the US, but we can still say they're in the USA. There's been an amazing exponential growth in our community and following, which is just, I reckon, grown by 10 times. We obviously had amazing success with the Ultimate 48-Hour Author Weekend and setting that up and now licensing that as well for 2014 launch, as well as increasing our sales this year by 10 times to our calendar year in 2012. So I think it's been fabulous. I think the universe was testing me am I really worthy of my success? That is something I learned from a mentor of mine. When you go through those moments where you're sort of staring at failure in your face and you go, will I keep going or will I quit? That's the difference between winners and people and quitters. Yeah. So let's go through the 7. I know there's probably, if there's any questions, just post them. But this was just probably just a little bit of a review. There might be questions around the stuff we're going to talk about now. So over the 3.5 years, I've worked with many coaches and have mentored them and have had them on board as licensees. And there's been some very common mistakes that I have observed during that time. And I just wanted to share those with you because these kind of mistakes, I mean, if you make it through your first couple of years, you will keep moving forward. And because I reckon 2 years is the time frame that it takes to be persistent. And these are the common mistakes which are made in the first couple of years that make people quit the business, which I think it's unfortunate. So let me share those with you because they're so common. When people come to ask for help from me, I can just see it, what they're going to say and what they're going to sort of complain about. So mistake number 1 is that they continue living in the comfort zone. Okay, so the comfort zone is where we do things that they don't stretch us, and certainly this was one that I indulged in for the first 5 to 7 months in my business. This is the one where we set up our office, we're working on our branding, we're setting up all the back end of our business, and staying in comfort land, in our office. Whereas what we truly must be doing is a couple of things that scare us every week. Perhaps going out there and networking could be a thing that is quite scary for new coaches out there. Another thing is putting your hand up to deliver a workshop, or actually setting up your very first workshop, making that phone call to a person that that might be a potential joint venture partner. Those kind of things. So when I had attended a specific training, we learned about these 4 critical levels of thinking. And that's where I learned that I needed to do things that didn't feel good, but they were good for me. And I decided that from that day forward, that this is about 5 or 6 months into my journey, that I would do 2 things that I didn't feel good about. And they were really into my stretch zone over my comfort zone. And those 2 things every week, 2 scary things that make your heart, pump that much faster and just make you feel, just like you want to scream and run the other way. They're the things that really changed things in my business. I was not a fast, achiever. I've often shared with people in my first year of business that I've did $7,000, in my second year $40,000, and that was not like a super jump start. A lot of people, I mean, there's been people who've made 6 figures in their first year as a coach, but I never stopped, and I never stopped persisting and moving forward. So that's something that I really wanted to make clear. Mistake number 2 is that there is a lot of sporadic action. Okay, this is a big one. And my favorite saying is consistency is king. So sporadic action where you do so much for a couple of weeks and then you do nothing for a couple of months, and then you do a lot for a couple of weeks and then you do nothing for another 2 months. So the behavior is really inconsistent. And what I've learned and have practiced always with my product development is that 1 hour a day every day over Christmas has gotten me to a point that now 10 days later I can say I have a full new license system that's 200 pages long. So with that 1 hour a day over 10 days, what's 1 hour a day when you have the whole day off? Not a lot, but to sit down and to make that commitment. Now that commitment, the strongest commitment that you can make is the commitment that you make to yourselves. So when you're sitting down on the 1st of January and writing those 90-day and 1-year goals, which I suggest you do. I do it traditionally. I've been itching to do them the last few days, but I'm waiting for my 1st of January because it's just tradition. Make sure that you make that commitment to yourself to follow through on the actions necessary to make them happen, because it's those consistent actions that will bring that big goal into reality. It's not the, yes, we need to start with the end in mind, but then we have to have that consistent behavior. And if you don't have consistency, somehow you got to build it in. If you can focus on your business 7 hours a week, then do 7 hours every week. Don't do 30 hours and then 2 hours and then 30 hours and then 2 hours. You've got to be consistent. So set a little bit of a what do we call a template in terms of what's going to happen throughout the year. Next mistake is they rack up tons of educational debt. So this is where they keep looking for the magic bullet. You know, what else is out there? What else can I, is going to bring me that quick fix? There is no quick fixes. There is no free lunches, as they say. There's just hard work, consistency. You know, there's a few entrepreneurs that I've seen speak, and, you know, one of them, my favorite, Kerwin Ray, he's from Sydney. He goes, yep, I got rich quick in about 10 years. and you know, it doesn't happen overnight. It's all a build up. You know, what we think we want today changes as we grow and become the person. So another saying is the being comes with the doing. It's you do the do and you do the do. So if you invest in an educational course or a program, do implement it. I'm very big on not being wasteful. So I whatever I've invested in, I have used it up at least 80%. I'm not saying you can use anything up 100%. It's not about perfection, but 80% of everything I've invested in, I have totally used up. Whereas I've met person after person that has invested 40, 50, sometimes $80,000 into their education, and they have nothing to show for it. I was actually rereading Think and Grow Rich over by the pool the last 10 days. And let's see if I can remember the saying. It was something like, knowledge is not power. Knowledge is, if you can implement it, then it is, if you can organize it well, that's it. If you can organize your knowledge and implement it, then it is power. It's not power itself if you don't do anything with it. Roxanne's just added the comment, shiny object syndrome. Laugh out loud. Yeah, it is totally the shiny object syndrome. And what you've got right now is probably enough. If you've got yourself and you invest in a few books that are going to give you the tools to be able to move you forward in your business, that's enough too. I read a lot of books. I did invest in a couple of high-end programs, but then I read a lot of books, and then whatever I'd read, I'd implement. There was no way I was going to read a book without actually implementing at least a couple of actions from that book. So implementation, very big. Mistake number 4 is they don't have a one-on-one mentor. So they go out on their own. They don't know what the next step is. They're not sure how to package themselves up. They just don't know what to do, even in their sessions. Oftentimes, coaches have come up to me and go, well, you know, once you go through the coaching type of questions, what else do you do with the client? And this is where, when we developed the license systems, we actually gave people a system to go through with clients in every single session, because coaching is not the business. Coaching is a tool that you use to solve a problem for someone. It's not the business. So coaching includes sharing insights, sharing metaphors, and educating. However, it's not the whole business itself. I believe it's just a tool that you use. You bring in other tools that make up the whole business that you have. So a one-on-one mentor is someone who has been there before and has got the results that you want to get. Ourselves, Stuart, not so from the beginning, but I have had a mentor from 3 months into my journey. And my first mentor was, I was with him for 2.5 years. And then I had another mentor for about 5 months. And soon in January, we're starting with a brand new mentor.
Just one little thing I want to add in there too. Like, it's really cool with think tanks. I'll take my teeth out and start again. Think tanks, but if you're new in business and you're asking other people that are new in business for advice, you're really not going to be moving forward at an accelerated rate, because they know just as little as you do.
That's right. Actually, I overheard the other day people saying we're in a mastermind group, and people were giving each other advice and ideas. And I kind of inquired, who is in this mastermind group? Like, who are the businesses that are in there? And I overheard them saying that they're all brand new businesses. And I said, has anyone got success in this group that perhaps can, give them some knowledge? And And they said no. And I said, well, why would you take advice of people who are not successful? So I believe a mastermind group is someone who, a group that has a group of successful people, or people that are perhaps at different stages of their businesses, and also from different industries. So a group of coaches meeting together who are all at startup stage is not a mastermind group.
No, Janice, exactly. Mastermind groups, you've just put diversity. So that's what we're saying.
Yes.
Just not everybody, same industry, same beginnings. It's still cool to have, that voice, that other person that you can run ideas with. But you just need to make sure that the advice that you're getting is going to project you forward.
Exactly. And Janice has said they've helped me tenfold to moving forward. So you're probably in a very good mastermind group. But I've heard these things. I'm talking about this because I know there's a lot of coaches on the call. There's probably 95% of your coaches. So what I'm saying is, if you're creating a group, that's probably a study group rather than or a practice group, I would call it, rather than a mastermind group. So be wary of that and taking advice of people who perhaps are right on the same level as you are. And Kathy's just said very true. Yeah, so true. So yeah, one-on-one mentor, I believe, because it's so customized. When you work with a one-on-one mentor, they look at your situation, they look at your background, they tell you exactly what to do, how to do it, when to do it, and how to approach certain situations, and then coach you in moments where you are weak and wanting to self-sabotage. That is a key component there. We didn't have money for our one-on-one mentor. We were paying nearly $700 a month to have him, and however, I said to Stuart, well, a mentor gets you from A to B the quickest way possible. So if that's true, we need to have a mentor on board, and we did, and we made it work. We just cut out the luxuries and made it work. Hey, Susie. Susie's probably just joined us on the call. All right, let's go into mistake number 5, and this is related to you guys that are coaches, and that is that they tend to come across too fluffy. Okay, so people buy a solution to a problem. Okay, this is where we're going to touch on niching next, and we're going to stay there for a little bit. But selling, find your purpose, your passion, empowering yourself. How specifically? In what way? So what I would say is move away from the fluffiness. You can do fluffy with people, absolutely, in the sessions, but a lot of you have heard me say, sell them what they want, give them what they need. Selling people what they want is like they want a solution to their problem. They want their pain gone. And where is that pain specifically? And then you can give them what they need, which is self-love and empowerment and goal setting, which is all the stuff that they actually need to do, doing affirmations, all of, the mindset strategies, all that kind of stuff. So watch out for being too fluffy. And if you're not sure if you're being too fluffy, check with someone. I'm happy for you guys to Facebook inbox me and say, Nat, what do you think of this name, before you actually put it out there? Because I don't want you to make a mistake. Like, what was PRS Coaching? That was fluff, total fluff. That was my first brand. And I learned, and Peter said to me, Nat, don't be too precious or anything. Let it go. And recently when I was in Sydney, and some of you guys are on the call, I made everyone in the room rebrand because they were a really startup stage, and we thought of some really cool names for some of you guys. So that was really cool. Susie's just saying, hey, Nat and Stuart, do mentors ever work with groups, or say 3 instead of one-on-one? Look, you can ask. Currently, I'm actually mentoring 2 girls that are in the same business. But look, it's possible that they would take that on board and they'd give you like a special group price. And I guess that would work out better for them because it'll be a one-to-many type of situation. So I would say yes, if you approach someone and said that, would you be interested in taking a group of us through the custom make a specific mentoring program for you guys. So yeah, it's totally possible. I'd definitely consider it as well. So, but as I said, the only time I've only worked with 2 people at once in terms of a mentoring scenario, and they had the same business. Cool. So let's move on to the next one, which is all about the niching. So there's no niche. Often this comes from being fluffy, and then they have no problem that they're solving. And I think Roxanne was the one that asked me on Facebook the other day when I asked, what questions do you guys, what do you want to learn on this course specifically? And she said, what niches are in demand at the moment? And these are the 5 key niches that where there is a demand and where there is a target market or people that are willing to spend money to solve their problem. Because yes, there is obviously the niche of helping children and students and all of those really rewarding type of scenarios. However, people are not going to spend money to solve their problem. So you got to think about, put your marketing hat on, put your business hat on, and work out where is there a lot of leverage. So definitely the health and wellness industry is huge, and there is going to be a lot of money to be spent there come the 1st of January, so in a couple of days' time. Business coaching, huge. People want successful businesses. You guys here are on the call because you want a successful business. You want to learn a few insights, walk away with a few aha moments, couple of things to action, and move your business forward. Relationship coaching. Now, obviously, this is very broad. I'm starting from the highest chunk, and I'm going to chunk you right down. Then you've got career coaching, where people need to get a job, and there is pain because they don't have the money. However, if people don't have a job, then perhaps not people who are unemployed wouldn't pay for it. Perhaps people that want to change into a different career would invest into a career coach. And then your executive coaching, so people who are in corporate and they are just they're super successful, but they're breaking down on the inside. Now, those are your 5 key niches where there's a lot of demand. However, within these niches, there is thousands of sub niches, which is where the key lies. Okay, so remember, think back on when we spoke about our ultimate weight loss business. Had we promoted it just as ultimate weight loss, that's way too broad. Yes, it's health and wellness, but what specifically? So when we narrowed it down to lose the last 10 kilos, that was a certain target market, a narrow group of people. So not everyone in weight loss needs to lose the last 10 kilos, but there is thousands of people that do. And when you say to them, hey, I help people lose the last 10 kilos, if they're that person, they go, oh my God, that's me. I've always had those 10 kilos to lose. And all of a sudden the conversation opens up. How do you do that? Blah, blah, blah. Same thing with business coaching. If you go around saying I'm a business coach, that's like saying I'm a life coach. Okay, so business coaching needs to be even chunked even further down. So what specifically in business coaching are you? So when we developed Ultimate Business Edge, we decided it was product development that people were seeking from me. And until I got to that point of figuring out my tagline, I think it took me about 5 months. I kept going back and forth with Peter going, what about this? What about this? I really want to business coach people. What do I want to do? He goes, but how are you going to help them? What problem are you going to solve for them? And then when I came up with the tagline, create products for profit, it was like, wow, okay, so your product development within business. So that's what you stand for. Other people, within business, it could be about sales. It could be about social media. Stuart has been doing social media specifically within business. So there's so many sub niches within all of these.
Yep. Same thing like with the relationship coach. When we met a transgender coach, think how narrow and deep is that? So transgender relationships, helping people of transgender find relationships. Is it very specific? Yes. Does it solve an exact problem? It does. So rather than just be a relationship coach now, but first of all, you think there's not enough people out there that would need that surface, but there was.
Yeah.
So it's really thinking outside and really narrowing it down.
Because there's that saying: if you try to be everything to everyone, you'll be no one to nobody. Jackie just said I keep dropping out. Jackie, no one else has actually reported a dropout, so I'd assume that it's your internet and your end. So if anyone is experiencing problems, just type it up, guys. But I think it might be sometimes. Yep, I'm back on. Okay, cool. All right. Cool. So yeah. So again, as we said before, career, you probably wouldn't focus on unemployed people. You would focus on those that want to move from one
or promotion.
Yeah, or promotion. How to get into a different level within the company. And then your executive coaches. Well, what specifically for executive coaches? do you need to help them with? So you need to have a bit of a research and think where the problem lies and do a little bit of research and look at yourself. Actually, a lot of the times it's within you. The niche is within you. We chose lose the last 10 kilos for weight loss. And only afterwards did I realize that I actually had that story, and I have those pictures on my website because I did lose the last 10 kilos in 2008. And I just didn't realize. We just picked it, and then I go, oh my God, I've got that story. I've got the pictures. And I did go on a weight loss journey over a couple of years where I lost those 10 kilos. Same as the product development, it was like staring back in my face. So the 2 or 3 questions that I would suggest asking yourself when you're narrowing down your niche, first of all, have a look at what experiences and what things have you overcome. And now you can help others do the same, because if you've overcome a certain problem, there will be people who have that exact same problem that are going to be willing to pay for a solution. Secondly, look at what you're attracting. Look at who is coming to you, because people will, and also why I chose Lose the Last 10 Kilos was because we ran a campaign via Living Social, and every person that walked into my room said, oh, how much weight do you want to lose? They would say, oh, about 10 kilos. About 20 of them in a row said that to me. So that was a big sign. So what problems are coming to you? And the last thing to ask yourself is, what are other people seeing within you that they want for themselves? Okay. So what are other people seeing within you that they want for themselves? Those are the 3 key things to really think about when you are going to choose a niche for your business. And you must niche. And if you're very, very new, of course, see what comes to you, see what you attract, and see where you would like to then further develop. So when I went into weight loss, I didn't have a huge background in terms of nutrition and fitness. I loved my mindset stuff. However, I went out and then read lots of books so that I would become that expert. And then I wrote a book about it. So you can then develop the expertise through studying and education. Kathy says it's more credible if the person has solved the problem themselves, and more believable, right? True, Kathy. Yeah, it's more credible, and this is why with the Ultimate 48-Hour Author license, we're only going to allow people who've attended the weekend to license, because they will have the success on the board, and they will be holding their book, and therefore they'll be able to teach people. But totally, with myself, it's everything that I have done myself. I have had the experience, and I have lived and breathed what I have talked to other people about. Also, what I was going to say, with people who undertake our license programs, I encourage them to work those license programs on themselves first. So to go through the system on them within themselves, because it's an Ultimate Mindset Success program for the weight loss licensees. So I say, take yourself through the 12 steps, do all the exercises for yourself. If you don't have a weight loss problem, think of something else that you want to improve on, and take yourself through that mindset program. Because then when you're delivering it to other people, you will be a lot more credible, and you will and they will do it in turn. Otherwise, people are not going to do anything you're not willing to do yourself. So thanks for adding that, Kathy. And Andrew just said, excellent point, what others want from you. True. All right, let's keep moving on. I can't believe there's been so much time has passed. I just can talk and talk and talk. Okay, so mistake number 7 is there are no tangible assets. Okay, so it's like Donna's dad always says, "Oh, you girls go there and sell hot air," like in his little accent. And so selling hot air is a lot harder than actually showing people that you have a system, that you have a program, that it's step by step. Because what do people want? People want something easy, fast. They want it instant. They want a system. They want it to be step by step, and they just want like to think that in these 12 steps their problem will be solved. And so tangible assets speak louder than words. When I go to networking events nowadays, when I stand up and show them my 3 books and my 4th upcoming book, and talk about my systems and programs and manuals, that's all I need to say. I don't need to say anything else. I get so much interest. I get so much credibility from having those things in my hand. So tangible assets really give the intangible nature of coaching a a bit of meat.
And every business can have them too. It's not just everyone. Service-based industries, everyone can have something.
Every single business can have a tangible asset, as I've often talk about my locksmith Justin, who helped write the book The Confessions of a Locksmith. That book has put him on national TV. He has been all over the radio, all over the internet, media websites and all that sort of stuff. I have about 15 different magazine and print media gigs coming up in 2014 because of my books and all of that. So that kind of exposure, publicity really gets your business to the next level. So tangible assets, and these didn't come about. This is everything that I've created. These didn't come about overnight. It was one manual at one time, 1 hour a day, over a certain amount of weeks or over a certain amount of days that just got systemized and put together in order. And this is where I have found my passion. This is where I have found my calling in terms of how I help other people and what I'm able to provide for them if they can't do it for themselves. So it's really, really rewarding. So tangible assets, they're a winner, and you will you won't go wrong by creating. Your first few may not be the best, but as you go along, I think every single book as I write it, gets better, and better. All right, so let's move on and talk about what's new for 2014. So our big goal in 2014 is to fully pay off our home. So, in next year, guys, we're probably going to be sitting here together yet again, and we're going to be talking about how we've gone. Last year, obviously, we had a successful accomplishment. So what I always pick for the new year is one really big goal. And then, that's encapsulates, and there's sub goals within that, but I have just this one big focus, something that makes me gives me an emotional boost, so I have an emotional attachment to it. So paying off our home
and a new baby.
Oh,
cool.
We want to have a new baby, so that's our personal goal. We want to have 3 children, so that will be happening in the works. And our exciting changes that we wanted to announce in terms of our licensing of what's changed is that we want to, twins, Leonie says, don't say twins, please. Thanks, Jackie. She says that's wonderful. We, as far as how our licensing was put together in the last 12 months, is that people had their own area or their own suburb they were licensed under. And then there was also the concept of renewing after 12 months. So what we have actually decided, and because we come from an abundance mindset, we actually have realized that it really doesn't matter. We actually want to remove the couple of those restrictions. And so we have removed the area restrictions, and we have removed the renewals. So we want to offer all of our future licensees that they will keep their commercial rights to use the IP forever. Okay, so they can choose after 12 months to remain part of our inner circle, which is a different thing that people get to be part of when they join our community. However, there's no renewal, so you get to keep all your manuals, where it used to be that you send back the intellectual property and you have no more rights to use it. And I have realized that will work just magically for people, and that way, even if they started working or using the system 5 or 6 months down the track, they don't feel like they're being rushed and they have to make it work within those first 12 months. So that also gives them a chance
to keep working on building their own profile and their own business as well at the same time.
Yeah.
So to incorporate it with it, which is a great decision that we've got up there.
Amazing. And yeah, we've signed up a few of late, and they've gone on this specific deal, and they're very, very excited. So Kathy says, can you help others license programs by sharing the how-tos and the legal documents? Yeah, absolutely. I've been doing that for a few people, just sharing and mentoring them through the process. So
everything except the legal documents.
Except for the legal document, which you would have to do for yourself, but you could look at a sample one to have a look at what it looks like and what it entails, and I would tell you how much it would cost, what to expect, and how to set up the criteria. The criteria is very important. This was part of our criteria, but we are changing these 2 bits in terms of the licensing. So we have an opportunity, obviously, being this time of the year, to actually take advantage of a license should you choose to. And we've got the 2 systems. We've got the ultimate weight loss mindset coaching business in a box, or niche in a box, as I like to call it, because it's specifically created for lose the last 10 kilos. It does have that a point of difference within the marketplace where people understand, oh, you're a lose the last 10 kilos person. You're not just any weight loss coach. And this particular system has 2 programs. It's got a 12-step Ultimate Mindset Success program. And then this year in May, I also wrote Ultimate Procrastination Cure, so which has got 10 steps, which means you've got 22 coaching sessions within that. You could work with someone for nearly a year and still have amazing content and lots of value that you bring in those sessions. All of these systems come together with the business coaching, business explosion manual, because I'm a big believer. It's one thing to give you a program to deliver to people, but another thing for you to be successful with that program. So all the systems, from the email that you send out when someone signs up, how to market the program, how to build all of the bits and pieces when it comes to social media. There's so much pre-recorded training and content, and we continue to run monthly calls of support, so that everything is included. So the business side of things and the system side of things, I believe they're 50-50. And the second business niche in a box is Ultimate Business Edge. So this is the where you want to niche into business coaching, but you want to niche specifically into product development. Now, this also has 2 programs. It's got the mindset program for business owners, as well as the product generator program, which you can use. So again, another 22 sessions in there as well. And this has got the business explosion manual done for it as well. So these are complete instant start businesses. Those are the kits that you guys saw in the pictures. So the kits include all the different manuals and folders. And as we said, there are no restrictions now, no area. You keep the intellectual property forever. You buy it once. So this is where, when I realized everything is just a product. So this is a product that you're purchasing to actually use commercially, because people can still buy these off us, off our website as a manual. However, they're not allowed to use it commercially. That would be illegal. So that's where the license system, and obviously they don't get our support throughout the process. So how do we do this? We have 3 different levels. I'm sorry if this looks a little bit blurry on your end, because I can see that on my end, but yeah, I can make it out.
I must have done this.
No, so we have 3 different levels. That's another thing that changed this year. We used to actually offer 1 level of licensing, which was I think about the gold level. Yep, it was the gold level that we used to offer. And now we developed 3 different levels of entry with different types of support. So we've got the silver level, the gold licensing, and the diamond licensing, which, as you can see through the table, offers different amounts of support. At the silver level, you basically just get your kit and all the resources that have been recorded and done, and then you go off and implement, and you take yourself through the training yourself. At the gold level, you get your unlimited email support and laser coaching, our live monthly webinars, and any bonus webinars, and all of the other resources. And then at the diamond level, you get everything, plus you get 2 hours a month of one-on-one mentoring. Why is it? Which one is most effective? Of course, when you have one-on-one training and support and more hand-holding, you will do and be committed to more of the actions that you're taking. The first level, I mean, in every level you get the system. At different levels, you just get different amounts of support. So we have put together a few bonuses just for the new year. We're being generous. So we have put together 3 bonuses that apply for every single level. And that is 2 hours with me, 2 hours with Stuart one-on-one. And that is valued at $1,500 to jumpstart your success. So that applies to every single level. Then you get all the 4 books, because your kit arrives with 1 book. I will give you all my 4 books, which are valued at $100. And then you can have the Inner Circle membership for 12 months as well included, which is that secret community and all these additional webinars that we actually do for our licensees. So that's pretty much it. I am, I love this. I love to be able to offer it to people who that haven't got a clue where to start. I also love when people actually take it on board to learn how to do it for themselves, because what's happened with some of our past licensees is that they have looked at the system and then modeled it to create it. Obviously, they haven't copied it, they've created something unique to themselves, but they've been on the inside. So they've learned how it's done, what it contains, and how they can replicate it for themselves to create a license system. So that's an awesome opportunity for them. So what you need to do is email or text us, Stuart@ultimateweightloss.com.au, and there's our mobile numbers. Stuart's is 0432 766 719, and mine is 0412 085 160. So we are going away on the 2nd of January. We are open to have conversations tonight and tomorrow, and then we can get kits sent out by tomorrow afternoon, I guess, before we head off, or we can leave my mum some homework to do for us if that happens. But we can, basically it is an instant start. That's why we when we launch this webinar, it's like pretty much you hand in your paperwork, you hand in all your setup information, which can happen within half an hour to an hour, and you get access to all the online resources, all the membership areas, as well as then you get your tangible kit in the mail a few days later. So let's open up the floor. We've got about 5 minutes, and I'm always respectful of other people's time to make sure that you guys can go off and enjoy the rest of the 2013. And so we're open to any questions that you may have around this. Are you curious about this? What would you like to know? How can we help you? Or even anything that has got to do with the content that we have delivered tonight. You want to share maybe a bit of a story about how some of our licensees have gone from your experience?
Like everybody, you're going to have percentage of people that are successful and percentage for people that and they've admitted themselves that they don't take action. The people that have been in contact the most and have used the most, I guess, used us for the most support are the ones that have had the greatest success. Yeah. That's like true in anything in life. So yeah, we've got Alana down in Tasmania has just been doing amazing things.
She's about to publish her book.
Yeah, she actually ended up becoming one of our authors as well. So she's come away and written a book, Why Men Made Me Fat, and then How I Took Back My Power. So it's a really hypnotic title. And yeah, she's just gone from strength to strength, and she runs her workshops, and she's got in contact with some different councils down there, and she's just really always looking at people to partner up with. She puts herself out of her comfort zone. She's just a little quiet achiever. So yeah, you get people from all different areas. American Girl is really going to be starting to do some amazing things soon. She's got some
amazing expos.
Yeah, expos. That's what I was going to say. So yeah, everybody that takes, like in anything in life, everyone that takes action, I guess, is going to get the best results, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, Kathy's just said great for those that haven't got a niche. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, absolutely, Kathy. Kathy's got an awesome. She's the Renault chick. Yeah. Susie's saying thanks as always, Nat and Stuart. Great to hear from you. Hope you both and the kids have a sensational break together. We're not going with the kids. We're going on our own for 10 days. I'm looking forward to learning more from you in the new year. My pleasure. And Jackie's just said, loved your content, Natasha and Stuart, sharing great insights. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks for the feedback, guys. We really very much appreciate it. Yeah, what has been the learning is that if you make that commitment to yourself, you implement what you have invested in, and then you move yourself forward and get yourself out of that comfort zone, and don't expect that magic bullet, that quick fix, then you are in for a successful journey and amazing times.
The niche is just the most critical. That really is, because once you have your niche defined, it's so much easier to sell yourself.
Yeah.
And so you can either doing something like this as a licensing. This is the way to move forward quickly, and you can always be building things of your own in the background. And that's what I think some of our previous licensees and continuing licensees have done really well.
Yeah.
So that they can use this, because if you've been now 2 years, 3 years doing the same thing and you're still not where you want to be, unless you mix it up, or unless you change up what you're actually doing and it doesn't have to be this, but it does need to be changing something. You're gonna end up going back and just going back and doing the job or doing something else. So yeah, really important. Just make sure that the niche that you choose, you're able to sell it.
Yeah, amazing. Kathy said it. You enjoy your holiday. Leonie says, have a wonderful happy new year. We're celebrating our first wedding anniversary. Yeah, congratulations. Charlotte, thank you so much for sharing everything. It definitely helps. We'll be in contact. Thanks, Charlotte. Pina, thanks, Nadish. Awesome stuff. Have a great trip in New Year. Thank you. Kathy says multiple sources of income. Okay, I'll shut up now. Verity says, thanks so much for this guy. You're welcome, Donna. Thank you very much. Have an awesome 2014. And Roxanne, for me, takeouts would definitely be specific on your target market, get a mentor, and take action. Well, you're doing all the right things so far, Roxanne. Thank you so much, Fatima. Thank you. Have a great holiday. All right, guys, we're right smack bang on 8 p.m. Thanks, Marion. Great to have you. We will have an awesome trip, and you guys enjoy the night tomorrow night. Be good. And I can't wait to restart the journey. And we shall see you in 2014.
Bye.
Bye.